Ayade sues for new political structure to enable those elected in public offices settle for good governance, impact positively on the lives of people. Plus, religious leaders call for mutual understanding among people to foster peace and development in Nigeria. Good evening. Thank you for joining me on NTA News at 7. I am Arut Ndem. Now the news in details. Cross River State Governor Professor Ben Ayade is suing for a new political structure to enable those elected into public offices settle for governance and positively impact the economy and lives of the people. Paul Abel reports that the governor stated this while speaking with government house correspondents in Calabar.
Governor Ben Ayade stressed that with the present structure of elections every 4 years, it makes the nation to spend more, which has a negative impact on the economy, as well as the inability of the elected officials to settle down and attend to governance and developmental issues for which they were elected into office.
The Nigerian government must deliberately find a way to change the new political structure. This structure of elections every 2 years, because the new timetable as approved by the Electoral Act now, elections is almost in every 2 years. Because the process of arriving at the final election takes almost 2 years. Join it with the internal congress of the parties and the rest. It's like a state in perpetual elections, a nation that is perpetually in elections. Where is the time for strategic planning? All over the world, economies that have done well are governments that are in place for a long period of time. 8 years is more than enough for me to do whatever I want, and I've laid the right foundation in 8 years. We can only get there when there is a major structural change in a normative framework with which we drive our political system. If we don't effect a change and we continue with what we're doing, 60% of our income nationally will be spent on the electioneering process and all that comes with it. And that's why the nation itself is not seeing much progress. And that's why we are looking more of GDP instead of Human Happiness Index. If you check the happiness index of your citizens, it's a function of job creation, employment, steady salaries. And you see that crime rate will reduce. It's not the size of prisons, it's not the size of your army or the police. Nigeria has moved into a new generation where the police are being replaced by army in the conduct of election. It shows the degeneracy of our electoral process.
Governor Ayade also decried a level of malpractices by desperate politicians, leading to several litigations after elections, and called on the election umpire to remain credible in order to win the confidence of the electorate during future elections. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
In a bid to foster peace and development in Nigeria and the African continent, religious leaders have sued for mutual understanding among one another, revival of family values and love in order to sustain socio-economic development. Erika Ivy reports that religious leaders at the African Spiritual Day, organized by the Inter-Religious Association for Peace and Development, made the call to unite believers of different faith and tradition.
The event, which took place at the Faith Mansion World Center, City of Testimonies, Calabar, attracted dignitaries within and outside the state. Keynote speakers emphasized the need for spiritual leaders to work in harmony to attract peace, which is the bedrock of development in the society.
No constitution is superior. Great societies rise and fall on the precepts of the ideal family relationship.
If people are narrow in their viewpoint, then they become instruments. They become available as instruments of disharmony.
Others at the event also charged parents to imbibe ethical and spiritual values in their children, noting that the family is the first institution created by God for the purpose of dialogue and relationship.
The first understanding is that we were not born as a group or as a religion. We were born in a unit of a family. A unit of a family knows no religion, knows no ethnicity, knows no barrier. It is after we are born as members of a unit, as a family, that we belong to a religion or tribe or so. So if we go back to the roots of how we were born into a family, and the first promise God made to humanity is to be in peace with Him, be in peace with the environment, be in peace with one another.
It's a fundamental right, freedom of worship. So allow people to worship what they want to worship. You don't have to fight me because I'm a Christian. I don't have to fight you because you are practicing another religion. There should be freedom of worship.
Once there is peace, then we can always prosper. Development can come.
Stakeholders therefore called on traditional religious leaders to provide a legal framework and ideologies to project the family for the benefit of generations to come. In Calabar, Erika Evie, NTA News.
That's the size of our package for tonight. Thank you for watching.